If your team got guaranteed money, tell them call me.
Whoop. Make me say, my.
I done been around the world. Yeah, I was made for this.
Player Performance with J.A. Cavalier.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Player Performance on this Thursday. NBA season now winding down. I believe we're a week away, right? It ends like next Saturday or something like that. There's no games on one day, then it comes back, and then they end it. Been a crazy ride this year. Looking forward to the NBA playoffs, which, again, as I mentioned yesterday, is a season on itself. Probably my favorite season. What's going on, guys? See you guys lighting up the comments already. Love seeing you guys in there. NBA on a Thursday. We have, 5-6 games to get through. We'll go through all of them, give you our handicaps, tell you who we like, tell you why we like them. Hopefully making you guys smarter players along the way. And, of course, if you're going to bet, please do so responsibly, as always. He's Graham Sheasby. He's Luke Shuey. I, of course, am J.A. Cavalier. This is NBA Player Performance on a Thursday. Let's go.
The lights, the bright lights, the type, the crowd lights, where you at, ballers? Ladies love me and men, they wanna be me, they pay to come see me, where you at, ballers?
Thursday's theme is money. Luke's leaning back, free throws in the lane, energy is live. Fire up the chat. 6-game card today. We got a lot to talk about, some really good games, and we're going to start out with divisional basketball in Washington. Orlando at Washington, 7 o'clock in D.C. Fourth matchup of the year, divisional rivalry, blowouts across the board. I see our guy our guy Chad in the chat talking about blowouts. I think you might see another blowout here tonight. J.A., welcome to the card on a Thursday in April. Any thoughts on this game?
Which game are we doing? Oh, Orlando Magic, Washington Wizards. I'd rather treat my balls like Zeppelis and dip them into a batch of hot boiling oil. I'm good on this one.
I do one. I was going to say, should we just handicap? Luke, should we just handicap if Jay is going to come up with like the next ringer aside here?
No one can shit on a game better than Jay can. I will give him that when he doesn't like it.
Well, my next one was going to be I'd rather be ass fucked by Johnny Sims than.
Oh my God! Do you have these on a chalkboard and you're just like that one?
No.
They're all up here.
They're all up here.
Anyway, we will segue out. Luke, welcome to the show. Props.
How am I supposed to follow that shit? So I'm here. There's a lean I have on this game. It's not something I'd go strong with because as you guys followed me last night, one of my official free plays we got pretty back-ended on, which was Anthony Sarr. Excuse me. Wow, I almost did that flawlessly, and I tripped up.
And that's not rehearsed, guys.
Right. We got back-ended on Alex Sarr, Wizards. We had over 16 and a half points. He had 12 points at halftime. He needed 5 more. He had 15 points with like 10 minutes left, and the Wizards did not play him the rest of the game in a close game. It was really weird. I think they wanted to see like JT Thor get some clutch minutes. That's my only take on it. So sorry, guys. Sarr back-ended us last night, just like Johnny Sims does to JA here.
Would you say sore back end?
So anyways, to flip, I'm not going on the Wizards tonight with my lean. My lean is Anthony Black. It is an under, though. Both my analytic platforms that I use and then the one I kind of create myself shows him as an under tonight. He has 9.5 points as a projection. By the books, I have him projected for 7. That's a good percentage decrease on the line. So I'm going under 9.5 points. Anthony Black lean.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at this game is obviously a disaster. But, we said this yesterday when 8 of the 9 games were double-digit lines. You do want to take note of that in late-season basketball. And more often than not, it is a blowout. Of course, there were some non-blowouts last night, including the Heat demolishing Boston in Boston. But we'll let sleeping dogs lie on that. And this game, I do think is probably a blowout. 1 point on this, Washington did win a professional basketball game last night. They beat the Kings by 5 points. So when Washington wins a game and then has to play a back-to-back the next night against an angry division rival, and Paolo Banchero leading the way. Margin is probably coming. The last time Washington played a back-to-back at home, it was about a week ago. And you guys probably remember they gave up 162 points to the Indiana Pacers. Don't go near Washington tonight. They had their day yesterday. Today's a new day. Orlando would be the side here. And
Shark, you played this one? You played this one?
Myself or Luke? Sorry.
You actually played Orlando tonight?
I have a VIP look in this game. It's something of the nature of this discussion. It's an elusive one.
No, because I was looking at Orlando, but they've done me so dirty, and their offense is so, I'm so sketched out by their offense. And I'm not late. I don't know that I could lay double digits, but I may throw some pizza money on the Magic tonight.
Jay, yeah, I actually have a question for you. So, like, Shark and I actually talked about this last week a little bit. What do you think? Do you think the Magic, if they got in a playoff series, can they do anything? Like, could they surprise people, or are they just going to get absolutely dominated?
They'll get swept. They have no offense. Like you can't win when you're when Franz Wagner is your number one scorer. Not that anything's wrong with Franz, but you can't win consistently or win a big series with him as your leading scorer. And your guard play is atrocious. Like the guard play is the problem, right? So they could pretty much match up size for size with pretty much anybody in the league, but they can get run off the court when it comes to guards, and they're not defending anything really at the level of which Orlando has in the past. So I really see this like a 4 or 5 game sweep for anybody that they're going to face.
Yeah, I would agree. I think there's a possibility they could steal one at home. I mean, they're going to be the 7 or the 8. They'll play either Cleveland or Boston. Boston is capable of losing maybe one gentleman's sweep, but definitely not going to 6 in the first round. And of course, as we said numerous times, this team took Cleveland to 7 in the first round last year. Just a tale of two seasons.
But I think we all agree this is a much different Cleveland team this year.
Oh, without question. And the injuries have just gotten to Orlando. Obviously, Banchero missed the first half of the season. On the other side of the new year, Wagner's brother, Mo, is out. Jalen Suggs, notable dog from Minnesota in high school. Just a lot of moving parts. I think Orlando next year could really reboot and make a run. This year, they're capped in the first round. Our guy in the chat, Chad, says Washington has won 2 in a row. Chad the other day had a nice little April Fool's joke about the Hawks covering every time as a short line. The Washington Wizards have not won 2 in a row. They got blown out by 30 by the Heat in their previous game. We love you, Chad. Keeping it moving. Next game on the card, Bucks in Philadelphia. This was supposed to be a national game, I believe. I think there's a flex option at this point of this season. National game tonight has been moved to Miami, but this game is the 4th matchup of the year between what are conference rivals, but not so much with the current rosters. We talk about this every time the Sixers come up on the card. An absolute disastrous season. They're not playing any of their players. They just shut down Tyrese Maxey about 2 hours ago for the full season. My best free play of the day is in this game. I will save it for a few minutes. Luke, I'll throw it to you. We love a lot of stuff in this game.
I do. This is for a few reasons. You guys know, I know my Bucks basketball. I watch a lot of Bucks basketball because that's what I cheered for growing up. I've also watched a lot of Sixers shitty basketball lately because there's so much prop value. 2 things align here. I actually like a lot of guys in this game. I'll give you a couple looks. My main free play and one of my top plays of the day is Ryan Rollins for the Bucks. If you don't know who that is, like you may not have a couple weeks ago, but you should now. He's a young stud. I max played his prop like 4 or 5 games ago when nobody knew he was going to play. With Lillard out, he stepped into the starting role, and I am on him in terms of his overs in pretty much every way. If you look, the Bucks last game, they only played 8 guys. They have an 8-man rotation. Rollins is a starting point guard, and he's actually done really well. He's shooting the ball confidently. Had a huge scoring game last time, 20 points. And I don't think he has any reason to stop here against the Sixers' abysmal defense, by far the worst defense in the NBA at this exact moment, in my opinion, and statistically. And he's averaging, this is the kicker, he's averaging 18 points per game over the last 4 games, and his minutes only go up. He's in the starting lineup. Giannis will look for him. He's going to play in the pick and roll. He's getting 10 to 13 shot attempts tonight. Not a household name, but Ryan Rollins over 11 points. Book it.
That actually had some more energy behind it. Is that because this guy played in the MAC at Toledo? Is that firing you up, Lou?
Dude, Toledo, he's a young stud. He's a grinder. He had to play in the MAC conference and make it to the NBA. If that doesn't tell you enough, I don't know what does. So
yeah, and our guy in the chat, RL Book, says Rollins from Dakota High School right here in Detroit, Rock City.
Yes.
See you guys out there.
That's Mr. Coach Rick Boach.
Oh, is that
really? Yeah, you're right.
That's Coach Rick.
I was envisioning Coach like.
Of course, he was dropping some Johnny Sims jokes earlier.
Was that him? Welcome to the chat, Coach. Of course, your college ball. Gotta love it.
I love how
anytime anything comes up for Michigan, Coach is all about it. Like his ears perk up.
I love how Coach, when he does live videos, is like this like stern, like really like disciplinarian type of coach. But then in the chat, he's just RL Book. I mean,
Coach is one of those guys that they're very stern, right? But he's actually very funny. He just has one of those real dry sense of humors. So you have to know him, like to see his real personality pop out. But he's one of the funniest people I know.
Dude, Coach is hilarious.
He's fucking. He
in
is.
Our group chats, he says some of the funniest shit.
But it's dry and it's out of nowhere, and you never fucking expect it.
No, I agree. When we did the work in the fall, he was definitely hilarious on the air with some quippy takes for sure. Jay, any thoughts on this game? Bucks 76ers.
No, I think this is going to be one of those fucking mop the court with Philly. You just pretty much fade Philly. I don't know that I really want to lay double digits, but you might want to find some way to get to Milwaukee here. I like pretty much everything the Bucks are doing. And I've stated this, without Dame on the court, I like this Bucks team more. I know people are down on them for some reason, but I think the role players and everything they have around them kind of reminds me of that Bucks championship team. Now, I think the role players are still a little bit too young for that right now. However, they're definitely moving and trending in the right direction. Guys like Rollins, guys like Porter. It's the role players that are stepping up. And people want to be down on Kuzma. Kuzma has done nothing but everything right and correct since he's gotten to Milwaukee. He's not trying to overdo or overstep, who he is and play outside of himself, but he's playing defense. He's rebounding, he's passing, and then he's making his shots when he needs to make his shots. So I like everything Milwaukee's doing. I think they pretty much run away with this one. And if you look back at pretty much everything that they've done to the Sixers, whenever they see Philadelphia, they pretty much dog walk this team. So I would be on the Bucks in this spot, if anything. Maybe a Bucks first half look, expect them to get out early and often. Maybe a Bucks team total, knowing Philadelphia is not going to play any defense. I haven't really done a deep dive into this, it being a double-digit spread, but I would definitely look to Milwaukee here.
Yeah, just on this Philadelphia spot, as you said, they're just getting crushed. They're getting crushed really even more so at home. And I used to live in the Philadelphia area. I mean, we know these fans. I mean, this is like a funeral for these fans. I mean, this is disgusting. They're 1-9 ATS last 10 at the Wells Fargo Center, getting beat on average by 18.3 points per game. Completely uncompetitive. Luke, you have another point on this, and then I have my prop angle here.
Yeah. Excuse me. I'll just be quick with it. I know I gave Rollins as a top take. I did want to just mention that if you're looking for other players, I could essentially get to every Milwaukee Bucks starter over tonight. I mean, Giannis could easily drop 40 on this lackluster interior defense. I like Brook Lopez is over tonight. I don't mind Taurean Prince is over. Kuzma, you could argue. I literally think all 5 Bucks overs. If you took all 5, you should hit at least 3 of them. So, not a bad bet if you're looking there. And I don't mind the Sixers overs. I've been on the Sixers overs. We talked about this for weeks now. I mean, guys like Grimes are going over. I've been even looking more niche than that. Like Adam Bona, the other game I told you guys, he went over. There are some other role players here too. It's overs for me in this game. Ryan Rollins is just the one that I think has the most potential tonight.
Well, that's actually a good point. And there's one thing about that I just want to add on to what he said. That's the one good thing about missing guys like Drummond, Lowry, Oubre, Maxey, Embiid, is that you find guys like Grimes. You find the guys like Yabusele. You find these guys that step up into bigger roles that become more of a bigger part of your squad moving forward. So that would be the bonus. you know what, to all these guys for Philly out. And I don't think Philly's really all that upset about the Sixers. These guys are still eating horseshit pies over the Philadelphia Eagles win. So I think they're good, right? You just won the Super Bowl. Fuck the Sixers right now.
I agree. And I think obviously the Eagles and the Phillies are probably bigger in that town anyway, just in terms of the fan base. But I'm just making the comment based on where we thought this team would be with Embiid at this point in his career and a young Maxey. I mean, this is one of the biggest surprises of the year in terms of a team underperforming. But speaking of points in this game, we do think this is going to be a wide open game. Milwaukee not playing a lot of defense. Philadelphia playing no defense with this young group. My top play of the show here, free play, also a VIP play. We're taking Ricky Council the fourth over 12.5 points. And when I was going through this before, it's just a great spot. There's no way around it. This kid plays really aggressive offensive basketball when they're at home at the Wells Fargo Center. He's averaging 14 shots per game last 4 against Eastern Conference opponents at home. He's also getting 34 minutes per game, so he's on the court a ton. And this line is just super high. He's averaging 7.4 on the year. This is 5 points north of it. He's averaging 6.7 on the year against Milwaukee. This is 5 to 6 points north of it. Just a fantastic spot. The kid played in the SEC at Arkansas. He's a young, just aggressive, trying to prove himself type of player. You're going to see 18 points from this kid tonight. Let's take that one and let's dominate. Keeping it moving here, 7:30 in Brooklyn. Luke and I were talking about this before. We keep going game by game with these teams out of conference to see what's the last matchup of the year between teams that have not played this year. The Wolves and the Nets have not played this season, and it's April. Shout to the calendar makers in the NBA. We have no idea why this is the way it is, but these teams have not played in over a year. Because of that, I honestly have no idea in this game. J.A., do you have a beautiful aside, midget porn, or an actual take on this game?
Yeah, I'd rather pull down my pants and walk backwards through a cucumber field. Actually, I would lean Minnesota in this spot. You know what we do. When Brooklyn's at home, you fade them, right? When Cam and Cam are off the court, you fade them. Minnesota's playing some of the best ball in the league right now, so it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard not to get behind this team. Probably look to a Minnesota team total over. The problem becomes is such pretty much like the Clippers last night is blowout potential. Blowout potential is the enemy of a point spread for a team laying a big number or the enemy of a team total or total in general, right? You typically with a blowout, you want to be on an under in that spot, and that's pretty much what happened last night. I mean, the Clippers pretty much went dormant on offense for pretty much most of the fourth quarter, which is what held down that team total only by a couple points anyway. So, I mean, it would be Minnesota or nothing, maybe a Minnesota team total.
Yeah, I mean, Luke, when I was looking at this, I thought under in the game. I mean, did you look at the props leaning under, anything of that nature?
Actually, 100%. I couldn't get to anything in the over market really in terms of points at all. This is not a great game for prop value. My clients, they see we have nothing in this game tonight on VIP card. If you're looking to have some action, you're a fan of these teams, or you're just a degen and we bet every game, my one small lean would be Jaden McDaniels rebounding. He can actually grab a lot of boards. He showed that this year when guys are out. His line's down to 5.5 because Gobert and Randall are back. That doesn't really scare me. He gets minutes without some of them on the court. And so I would lean over 5.5 rebounds for Jaden McDaniels. And I'm going to end this with a fun fact trivia that I saw on not this game. I'm going back to the Sixers, but this is wild. Did you guys see that Carmelo Anthony has played in more games than Joel Embiid since Embiid was drafted? Isn't that fucking wild? It literally, I had to double take.
Yeah, Carmelo was drafted in 2003, right?
Yes. Isn't that mind-blowing?
But Joel Embiid doesn't miss a ton of important games. I mean, this is really his first season where he's missed the season pretty much, right? And he came in not right. There was something not right to even start the season. But for the most part, Embiid's played when it mattered most, and even through some injuries as well, even when he probably shouldn't have been playing. So, I don't think anybody's going to question the guy's toughness, right? There's been a problem with him this year, and it pretty much from start to finish.
I'll say, yeah, no, I'm not doubting his toughness. If you watch him, there's games where he shouldn't even be suited up at all, and he's playing. 100% agree. I just thought it was crazy. I was like, Carmelo, throwback to Melo. It's just crazy that he was able to play into his, older age and be somewhat efficient.
Yeah, but
still.
remember, Carmelo played long after his prime and played long after he should have as well. Became a little bit of journeyman because he just couldn't let the game go, even though his game had far surpassed him, right? And he played a lot of years. My favorite Melo was that Denver Nuggets Melo team, right? Like that was my favorite Carmelo team.
You mean the team that lost to the Kobe Lakers in the Western Conference Finals?
Yeah, that's fine. Not all teams win. Every year there's only one winner, right?
No, I know. No, that's why I said before Luka got traded off the Mavs that Luka was kind of looking like a Melo because I just wasn't seeing him win a title. He capped out early career Western Conference Finals. High usage rate, shoots a ton. He reminded me of a young Carmelo. Of course, not the same player. Literally,
yeah, I don't actually like. That's one comparison I really don't see. Luka plays out of control, doesn't he? Like Luka plays fast, plays out of control. Melo played slow, more half court type style offense. I know Luka plays in the half court as well. However, he likes to play fast, and I think sometimes Luka's mind is going much faster than his actual body is capable of.
Wait, so you're saying that the perpetually overweight beer drinking Luka plays fast?
Yes, he plays extremely fast. That guy gets the ball and goes. Now he doesn't play. But you got to understand, he rests on every 2 possessions, right? So on every second possession, when it comes time for defense, the guy's resting. And then when offense comes and they grab that ball, that dude is fucking gunning.
All right, I don't know about that, Luke.
He's moving as fast as he could move. Like I said, his mind moves faster than he's capable of moving.
What's funny is he actually does play up tempo, but it doesn't visually look like it. Like you're not like, wow, he's fast. No one's ever said that. But he does get the ball up court.
Correct. He plays fast is what I'm saying.
He kind of for me, he kind of just lumbers up and down. Like he's big, he's kind of bulky. Like he's long. He's like 6'7". So his steps are obviously long.
No, listen, there's no explanation on how physically Luka is as good as he is. Like physically, right. There's no explanation for it. Like a man who has a 2-inch vertical should not be as good at basketball as he is. It's actually ridiculous.
No, it is pretty crazy. If you look at just a lot of these European superstars that have played over the years, I mean, Jokic is another one that just does not look particularly fit and athletic. And I mean, even Dirk in his prime, really wasn't jumping. He was just great tactically with his footwork and he'd create space and shoot. It just seems to be the European model. They don't really jump. They just kind of grind you with footwork and somehow get by you. It's fascinating stuff. But staying course here with this game, Wolves, Brooklyn. I mean, so you guys understand how entertaining this game is. Obviously, we're talking about Carmelo Anthony and European superstars' footwork instead of the Wolves-Nets game tonight. Ultimately, this game is a complete toss. As I said, they're playing twice in the next week and a half. No data here. We'll keep it moving. Next game on the card, national game. Pretty big game here, actually. Memphis at Miami. We talked about Miami last night. Miami played a huge game in Boston. Did play one of their best games of the season. Certainly their best game since the Jimmy Butler trade. Blowout win. 124-103. I had said on here I thought they could keep it close. I definitely wasn't expecting a blowout outright victory. Now they got to come home and face Memphis, who's on a losing streak and has looked awful in recent history. Jay, we talked about the Heat last night. I always love the Heat fan base perspective. I think you also have a play on this game, though.
Well, obviously, I'm wearing the shirt, right? And I told you, look, obviously, everybody knows I'm a huge Heat fan, and I will be in attendance tonight. But I told you guys, we don't play teams, right? We play spots, we play situations, we play numbers. And this is a huge over-adjustment to Miami's latest heater and the Grizzlies' unbearable performance as of late. Heat on back-to-back with travel, back-to-back after beating a rival, the champs, the Boston Celtics. This is that classic letdown spot, a spot the Heat have not done well in this season. Miami's 1-5 last 5 on the second night of a back-to-back. And the last time they were in this exact same spot on a back-to-back with travel, who did they play? They played Memphis in Memphis. Lost that game by 30, 125-91. More of the same going off here tonight. Give me the Memphis Grizzlies. I do have a 5-dime ticket on the Grizzlies laying 4. I probably look to the Grizzlies team total over as well, maybe a Grizzlies first half. The one thing with the Grizzlies is the last team you want to look across the court at after playing the Boston Celtics on the very next day would be a team like the Memphis Grizzlies. And coach, I know an intern coach or whatever, is getting in their ears, and the whole organization is getting in their ears about this team not playing up tempo. So you could expect that to come back into play tonight. They're going to be moving fast. Ja's gunning up and down the court already, right? And he's been balling as of late. He's been averaging like 30 plus. So I would look at Ja overs, maybe some Triple J. Triple J usually performs well against Bam. And, you know, you have a nice little Big Ten matchup here, right? Khalil Ware and Edie. So, you know what? A lot going on in this. I don't think that the Heat on the second night of a back-to-back are going to be able to keep pace. Give me the Grizzlies. I love them in this spot.
Yeah, and you got Triple J coming from Michigan State, too. So you got a bunch of angles there.
Well, I was only mentioning the Ware and Edie because they literally were just playing against each other.
Yeah, they literally were matching up. Yeah.
And they're both in the state of Indiana, right? Isn't Purdue in Indiana?
Yep.
Yeah. You know, when I was looking at this game before, I got a couple comments on this. I actually got quite a few comments, but something that really stood out to me. I want you guys to guess. When was the last time Ja Morant played in Miami?
That's an interesting question. It obviously wasn't this year. You wouldn't be asking.
Or last year. He didn't play because he didn't play last year.
And he was suspended. Yeah.
I think it might have been when he was at Western Kentucky.
No way.
Murray State.
That's
what I meant. When he was at Murray State. Well, they're in Kentucky, but it might have been when he was at. They played in the wasn't it not the Final Four? One of the in Miami. So I don't remember what it was.
I think he got to the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight back then. But no, he has played a professional game here, but he hasn't played a road game for the Grizzlies in Miami since April 6th, 2021. That was the season after COVID that tipped off right around Christmas and went till July something. So he hasn't played here in 4 years, which is absolutely insane. And I went back. The last time Memphis played at Miami, Memphis did play a great basketball game with Ja Morant, 124 to 112. And, you know, we're talking about speed here. Luka, whatever about Luka. This is Ja Morant sprinting up and down the gym. And as you said, this is an absolutely terrible spot for Miami tonight. Luke, do we have any props in this game?
We do. And, you know, Jay brought up Big Ten. I got to love that. And you can't say the word Big Ten or Purdue without Coach coming in and saying that's West Lafayette, baby. he wasn't going to let that go. So I actually am looking at JJJ in this game. I'm going to give you guys, this is my top free play. It's actually a VIP play, a 30-star play for me. It doesn't necessarily correlate with anything you guys are saying. I think this is a solo siloed play. It's Jaren Jackson Jr. under 6.5 rebounds. That's right, under 6.5. My analytics have him projected for 4.9. That is like a huge percentage advantage on the line of 6.5. It's showing this. I posted it early morning. It's getting way juiced up, almost getting to 6 or under at this point. And, you know, he averages 5.7 on the year. And look at his last 2 games. People are going to be like, yeah, he'll grab a ton of boards against Miami because he put up 7 and 15 the last 2 games. That doesn't scare me. Not so fast. 10 games before that, the under here went 10-0. 100% of the time. He's not a top rebounder, and Miami is sneaky good at opposing rebounders. They are a top 10 team at limiting opposing rebounds, and that stat is trending up the whole season because the more minutes Ware gets, he's on the court with Bam. Those 2 guys can snag rebounds. JJJ is going to play on the perimeter a ton. There's a lot to like here, guys. Lock this one in when you can. JJJ, Jaren Jackson Jr., under 6.5 boards. Book it!
I fucking love when Luke does that.
So Jay has got the nice red and what is that? Carolina.
It's their what are they? It's the city edition Memphis gear. That's the
like
hat.
That's pretty dope with a red shirt too.
Yep, and the baby blue. They got a little G going on.
Well, we know Jay loves the baby blue. We had this conversation a couple weeks ago. We can just get every team in the league a baby blue jersey.
Yep. I got the Cavs, the land one.
Right, the one. Remember the old school colors with the when what's his name? Trajan
baby
Lang.
Blue, white, and orange with Mark Price.
I assume you have some good Kings gear then too. Retro.
Actually, that's more of a royal blue. This year their city edition was like royal blue.
That's true.
Yeah. But
I actually like their city edition this year. I really like their city edition jerseys this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think the red and baby blue is actually a nice combination. But I'm here on the other side of this with the same team, but going back to the Vancouver Grizzlies, nice little buy hat here for
you
all
bringing back Big Country. You bringing back Big Country.
Shadow the backboard, Big Country. Shadow it in Miami tonight. I'm on this as a free play for the show, -5. And we were talking about this the other day. This interim coach, Tuamas Lasolo, not getting the group together. We told you guys they're not going to perform very well against Boston, but this is the opposite of what they did against Boston. And this is really a playoff game for the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies right now are in a jam-packed West, right around Minnesota, Clippers, and Golden State, all within a half game of each other. They need this game. This is a desperation game. Memphis has also lost 7 of their last 8 games straight up. And for whatever reason, I've become a bit of the Grizzlies whisperer here in recent history. They've covered 3 games in the last month. I've had 2 of them correctly. I had them to blow out the Jazz on the road. They put up a $140 on the Jazz. I also had them to cover at Dallas on March 7th, Friday night. They did cover 122-111. And just to re-emphasize this point, this is one of the worst calendar spots for the Heat all year. Our guys said the Heat are 3-2 ATS at home, second leg back-to-back. Jermaine in the chat. That's before the Butler trade. Since the Butler trade, they're 1-4 ATS, second leg back-to-back, only cover at home against Washington as a significant favorite. Washington in the division as a huge favorite is the polar opposite as a dog versus Memphis. It's all over it tonight. I have Memphis to win this game by minimum 8 points. Free play, buy hat, collab with JA. Turn them the hell up, Grizzlies, and let's dominate. Next game on the card, 7:30, Blazers, Raptors, north of the border. A lot of movement in this game. I think nobody knows who's going to play in this game. The line opened at Raptors -1.5. It is currently Portland -4.5. That is gigantic steam. We're trying to figure out moving parts. Look, you and I were talking about the prop market in this game. I think RJ Barrett is playing tonight. I think Quickly's out. Barnes is questionable. I have no idea. We have any props in this game?
This is a hard one. The Raptors roster is really, really tough to get a grip on, not only for who's playing and who's sitting, but who's actually going to play the right amount of minutes. We've been talking on the show yesterday. Jay brought up a really important point about teams tanking in game, meaning their guys will start. They'll say that their starters played, and then they're not going to play in the second half. For that reason, I have no idea who to take on the Raptors for big names. I would actually stay away from Barnes.
I don't hear him.
Anyone that plays. I would lean towards some of these role players. You guys that have followed me know that I've been about Jacoby Walter lately. I don't mind Sheed in tonight's game. Or is it Shed, right? It's actually Shed.
Shed.
Shed is a really good player tonight. I think he could go for 15 plus. So I'd look at these role guys. I know we've talked about this again yesterday. It's not time to necessarily look at the studs on these tanking teams. Role players overs are where we're finding a lot of value. So I don't have an official play in this just because the roster movement's a lot, but those are a couple of the guys I'd look for. And then if you're on the Blazers side, I'd lean towards Donovan Klingen's rebounding line. I'm pick and choose my spots with him. This is a spot I like because Toronto does not have a lot of bigs. Pirtle is not playing a lot of minutes. I think Klingen's just going to clean up on the boards from all the Raptors misses tonight. So Klingen over 9.5 boards is my strongest lean, or go with Raptors, guys like Jacoby Walter and Shed tonight. So that's what I have.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't figure out the market steam in this game. Jay, any thoughts? Blazers, Raptors.
Was this game?
We're lighting you up for another banger.
You really asked me about the fucking Blazers, Raptors. I was gonna handicap this game.
You should just say pass.
I was gonna handicap this game, and then I decided a better use of my time would have been to cancel my birthday subscription. But so instead, I just kept moving to the next game, a game that matters. Like, this is the Blazers fucking Raptors. Holy shit, it's the Blazers Raptors. Like I kind of tuned out while he was giving. I don't even know who Luke's on in this game because it's the Blazers fucking Raptors. Fuck's sakes.
This is where we need that Allen Iverson practice quote applied to this. Jay, We're talking about Blazers, Raptors.
Yeah, exactly. It's just shit in one
Blazers,
hand and
Raptors.
fucking clap. You know what I mean? Like just shit in your hands and clap.
This is a rematch of a game played recently in Portland. Portland won by 3 points. Portland probably wins again. I think the line is tight. We talk about this every single time the Raptors play. Darko Rajakovic, he has his guys ready. They compete. They really bring kind of a European, international style of ball competitively. RJ Barrett's playing tonight. It's going to be a tight game. Tough stuff here. I think Jamal Shed is probably the best look in this game as a lead, over 11.5 points. We're segueing to the biggest game of the night, 10 o'clock. Warriors-Lakers in Los Angeles. Massive, massive game. National TV. This is the first time the Warriors have faced the Lakers this year with Jimmy Butler on the roster. The Warriors are playing great with Jimmy. The Lakers are playing great with Luka. A lot of moving parts in this game. It's going to be a great watch. J.A., thoughts?
Yeah, I'm on the Lakers in this spot. You know, James brings out his best for the Dubs. LA's beaten Golden State 3 times this season. LeBron averaging 32 points and 10 assists in those games. Luka hasn't played the Dubs as a Laker just yet, but his last 5 against the Warriors, he averages 33 points per game, including a monster 45-point night. Lakers have won 17 of their last 20 at home, 29-9 at Cryptos this season overall. Lakers also 11-5 straight up, last 16 against Golden State. Fresh off 2 big wins. Those wins, of course, Memphis and Houston. 2 teams play very similar to Golden State. I'm on the Lakers. I think they get it done at home tonight. Give me the Lake Show money line.
Yeah, Luke, did you go to the props in this one?
I did. I actually have several VIP props in this game, 3 of them to be exact. I like this game a lot, and I think a lot of my stuff is trending to Jay's take. Just a hint, the one strong lean I'll give on the show here is I don't love Moses Moody, especially if Jonathan Kuminga is in this lineup. If we get Kuminga in, fade Moody big time, just statistically across the board. And so I'm showing unders on his points, rebounds, and assists. One way to capitalize on that, if you're projecting unders in all 3 categories, combine them, even less chance for him to hit PRA market. I'm going Moody under 15.5 in the PRA market for the crowd here today.
Yeah, I like that. I have a VIP play in this game. I'm not going to go into detail. You guys want to sign up with me today? We're going 7-0. I got guarantees. I got locks. I got everything you want to call it. I feel great about the card today. That's a wrap for the rundown. We got best bets.
All right, we'll start off with Luke. Luke, what's your best bets for tonight?
Yeah, since I got to start it off with because I owe this to the people. When you lose, you got to admit it. Filipowski finally fucking lost for me last night, so I'm not going to buy his jersey today. I said I was going to. I'm just gonna have to wait for another day. Best bets are now 8-2 in the last 10. That's okay, 80%. Let's cash another tonight. You know what? I said it. I saved it for the end. I wasn't sure which one was my best bet. I am going Moody on the show. Moody under 15.5 PRA. I don't see him knocking down any threes, snagging any rebounds tonight. I think this is a Lake Show spot, and it's guys like Curry and others going off. Wow, I'm talking way too much. Moody under 15.5 PRA.
Jamal, you can email us if you know with those questions. Time and place, guys. Time and place. Shark, what's your best bet for tonight?
Yeah, like Luke said, we didn't catch it yesterday. We had Stephon Castle to go over. The guy had 15 points, 15 rebounds, almost a triple-double. It looked like he was trying to play like a 7-footer. Couldn't get there for us, but I think we're going to get there tonight. Ricky Council points over 12.5. And a second one with J.A. here. Love the Grizzlies to get off this schneid and continue some upward movement. Actually would be the first win for this interim coach. I think they get it tonight in Miami. And we said John Morant hasn't played here in about 4 years. So a lot of things going down for the Grizzlies tonight. -5. Let's cash that one as well.
Yeah, Jamal, don't worry. If people really want to work and they're good at what they do, we'll always find something for them, right? For me, I think it's really both plays. I like the Grizzlies and I like the Lakers tonight, but I like the Grizzlies more. Full transparency, I already have 5,000 on the Grizzlies. I'm probably not done betting that game. This is a spot I really like for Memphis, so that would be my best bet for the show. So there you go. Let's build out a nice little 6-leg parlay for these guys tonight. I'll start with the first 2. That would be the Lakers money line and, of course, the Memphis Grizzlies. Shark, add 2 more.
Yeah, let's go Memphis money line. And
I already added the Grizzlies. That would be.
We just did that. We can't double down.
Sorry about that. Okay. Let's do. I don't know. All these other money lines are trash.
All right, Luke, give me 2 plays and then we'll circle back.
Okay. One of these actually correlates really nice. I think Haywood Highsmith under 7.5 points. I would fade him tonight. I don't think he's going to hit 3 threes, which is pretty much what he would have to do. So Highsmith under 7.5.
Yeah, but Highsmith is questionable.
Well, so if in worst case if he sits out to 5 leg, that's fine.
Okay, and you like that even if Robinson's out because they have a bunch of players out tonight.
You know, if he's questionable, let me just do 2 others. Let's give the people what they want. I'm going with another Bucks player.
Do your homework, guys. Do your fucking homework.
Well, I mean, I pick questionable guys because I think there's value there when they play.
I'm teasing, Luke. Don't get all in your feelings, brother. Just give me 2 fucking picks for this 6-leg parlay.
Fine. Giannis over 30.5 points.
Never argue with that.
He should slam it tonight. And then my other would be Bub Carrington. So that's a Wizards player. Carrington.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have to tell him he plays for Washington.
Carrington under 14.5 points.
All right, Shark.
Yeah, let's do Adam Bona over points, 10.5.
Love that.
And let's go back to the Wild. Denny Avdia points over 23.5.
What's this obsession you have with Denny?
Yeah, it's a bromance.
He's a good basketball
there's some bromance going on over there. Holy shit! What is this with Denny?
I gotta get a Portland hat. He plays for the Israeli national team, right? I think.
Okay, but is that what your obsession is? Because he plays for Israel. I don't get it.
We got political once on this show. I'm not going to go there.
No, we're definitely not going there.
He's just trying to figure out why you like him.
I have no allegiance there whatsoever. To be perfectly honest, I didn't even know who he was about 18 months ago. He's just a great basketball player, and he's really in the beginning of his arc. He's still undervalued. He's only averaging 16.5 points a game, and they have him graded 7 points north of that. He's just balling out. And I was going to say that when we talked the Raptors game, but Portland actually does have something to play for here. They're only 3 out of the 10 seed. And it is Sacramento who's cratering down. So Portland may not make the play.
Go back to Portland Raptors.
Well,
is that really we're driving in reverse now? Where the fuck are we going? I feel like I'm walking on a treadmill. All right. So the guy Bernsey, type that out in the chat. What's a Diaz? What's Denny's? What prop are you playing for Denny?
Over 23.5 points.
Over 23.5 points?
Yeah.
I must be rubbing off on you guys. You guys love your props now, don't you?
No. Don't say you guys. Don't say you guys.
I'm just joking. Shark and I, we have some good cosigns.
Shark does like the prop market as well. Like I'll say that. Even from as long as I've known him, he dips into the prop market as well. I personally don't. Every now and then, unless you want to get to football season where we get a nice little "It's David Montgomery time." Can't wait for that shit. That shit just cashes every week. Tuesday morning routines in the Cavalier household, right? All right. So let's do this. Sharky, what do you have going on at Why Lose?
Got a guarantee today, 5-0 guarantee. I added 2. We're going 7-0 guarantee. If you guys buy a day, we don't sweep. You get an upgrade to a week to a month, and month to season. So please get in my Telegram, sign up. And this is a great way for you guys to win both ways. So please sign up. The best of energy is with us, and let's dominate.
That link is in the description below. And Shark, that's both MLB and NBA, a combination, correct? You're 7-0?
Yeah. That's right.
All right, Luke, what do you have going on?
Yeah, I got 2 good things. One's easy, one's super easy. You want the rest of the NBA season and the full playoffs through June 15th, just $100. That's easy. Everybody's been cashing here in NBA all season. And then the one I like the most, because I'm just hyped about baseball, I shouldn't talk too much about it on the show, but I've got a 4-0 in baseball tonight. There's 4 top picks I like, all in night games, so plenty of time to hop on. Same thing as Shark. If I don't sweep 4-0 for you in the MLB, you get upgraded from a day to a week to a month to several months, and MLB is on fire.
What is it?
It's on fire.
You're so white. Okay, let's move on to Q&A. We got a couple of minutes for Q&A.
Practice? We're talking about practice, man.
All right, you guys got questions. We got answers. Go ahead, start firing them off. Anything you want to know for tonight's card, please just ask. Let's go. Burnsy, anything comes up, just put it up. Bucks over 61.5. You know what? I would like the first quarter. I think I thought I saw it at 29.5. Was that the best available number? If so, I like the first quarter better than I like the first half. For some reason, that second rotation seems to truly dip for Milwaukee when Giannis comes off the court. Say again.
I was just backing up. Sorry, it slows down as soon as the second guy's
Yeah. So I would stick to the first quarter, especially with Dame out. You might get a good 9-10 minutes out of Giannis in the first quarter, and that should be enough to push it up and over.
Yeah, one other thing I want to mention on that, just in terms of the number, this little teaching moment for you guys on how to read sports books. The game line in that game is 228.5. First half is 61.5, right? That's 223. What books are telling you? Less points in the first half. They're not saying we're giving you space and value to make it easier to take it over. They're telling you what J.A. and Luke just said. Less points first half will open up in the second half. You want it over in this game, take the game over, or as J.A. said, maybe to jump on the first units to come out fast. First half is not an over number. It's a trap for the over. It's the correct side under.
And yeah, we're gonna look to do an MLB show. I just haven't put anything in play yet, but there'll be a nice little rotation for the MLB because Coach also does quite a bit of MLB, and he's actually really good at MLB as well. So there'll be a nice little rotation for MLB. Luka 28.5. I'm assuming points. I don't personally, and I'll just say this, and then I'll pass off to Luke. I don't know how to price out the Lakers just yet, because it seems like they can get it anywhere from one of three guys can take the spotlight on a nightly basis. You either have Luka going off, LeBron going off, or Reeves going off. So, and now Hachimura is back in the lineup as well, so he's starting to eat up some usage. So I don't know. I mean, Luke, what do you think about that? Like,
if I'm being honest, my take, I'm not just saying this, I would tell you if I had a different, it's exactly what you said. When all three are playing, I actually stay away from them in the points category. They should score and they should possibly be in or win this game. But I don't know. I can't just bank on Luka going for 30 plus. I think he will. So like, if you're going to take this, I'd lean over. I mean, the guy can put up 15, 18 and a quarter. So like I'd lean over. But where I pick my spots with the Lakers, is, as you guys have seen, is when guys are out and there's just one or two of them in the lineup, they go off. I mean, you can pick the games where Reeves is going to go for 35 plus. So like, this isn't a spot for me with where I'm going to single one out. But if you're going to bet it, I'd slightly lean over.
Anybody know if Carlos Boozer's kids are going to Duke next year? I'm assuming you're meaning Carlos Boozer, right? I haven't heard that name in fucking decades. Holy shit. Yeah, Carlos Boozer. Actually, I liked Carlos Boozer. I liked that Duke team in general. Wasn't that the Jason Williams and the Corey Maggette? Also,
Shane
what's the
Battier, right?
Yeah, Shane Battier. And what was the other dude that used to light it up?
Elton Brand.
No. Elton Brand was a big down low. He was more of a shooter. I forget his name. It was Corey Maggette, and then there was something else. I can't remember the fucking guy's name. Holy shit!
Oh, what's his name?
It's like a French name. He played baseball with Alex Rodriguez, or they were friends. He was friends with Alex Rodriguez, or some shit like that. Anyway,
who was the guy, the white guy that had his son coached in the NBA, or his dad coached in the NBA?
That's Duhan.
No.
Yes, that's Duhan. Duhan was on that team. Oh, what's his name? He was the fucking Blazers head coach.
Right. Yeah, his son.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember
because he was a shooter on that team.
Yeah. That team was absolutely fucking loaded. That team was loaded.
Yeah, not Rajah Bell's son, Dunleavy.
Oh yes, Dunleavy. That's right, Dunleavy.
Yeah.
But I can't remember.
We should really do some live trivia. That would be good.
They're getting. Listen, we're doing it pretty much now. We're getting it from the chat. Who was the light skinned guy? Because I don't think he was white. but I thought he was like Alaskan or something. And he was more. He
That's
was like
Boozer.
their leading scorer. No, Boozer was a big.
He's from Alaska, though.
He was like yeah, but so was this other kid. He was like a shooting guard.
Trajan Langdon was before
McGetty
him.
was the sixth man, correct? And yes, Trajan Langdon. That's who I'm thinking of. Yes,
and Jay, when you were, he was before that. He was in the 90s because
I thought he was there when Duhan and all them were like in their freshman seasons.
He was before because when you were talking about the Cavs baby blue unis, he played for the Cavs when they had those unis. So he was already graduated from Duke in the late 90s.
Guys, as soon as you hit 40 plus, all the years just kind of mush together.
But yeah, Langdon was an absolute baller, no doubt. He was one of my favorite Duke players in the late 90s.
Yeah, Langdon used to ball in college, yes, for sure. All right, we're getting off track. I just saw Carlos Boozer and just completely threw me left.
Jay, Carlos Boozer is now on the air for like ESPN or something.
Is he really? I almost had we almost brawled with Carlos Boozer and his boys in the old Nets arena in Newark. I was there with my entire crew that used to work for me, and all of a sudden, of course, we were all drunk assholes, and Carlos Boozer was going up for a rebound, and we just started talking crazy shit to him. Golden State team total over. Well, I like the Lakers, so obviously I can't support on that. Although I will say that I see a much higher scoring game. Shark, what do you think about the Warriors team total over tonight?
Yeah, it's just not my market. I really don't. When you weren't on the show last week, Luke and I were talking about this, how some of these lines are just crazy sharp too, like right on the numbers. So no comment for me. I think it's a tough market, and this could be tight. So,
and I will say this, the Lakers' current run since the All-Star break has been on the defensive end, and it starts with defense. Even though they're putting up some points, if you look at what they did to Houston the other night, like they really just shut them down offensively. So I don't know if it's not somewhere I would get personally.
It's not my market to really comment either, but I was going to say what Jay did, that I if anything, this game should be slower at times. Like there'll be stretches where it picks up, but I don't see this being an easy over for any team totals.
The problem with this game for me is I think that Miami's going to get run off the court tonight, right? I think this is going to be a bad beat. So that typically plays under. I can see Memphis getting to 120 and keeping Miami under 100 tonight because Miami does have that give up attitude, or at least the team seems to. When they're down by big numbers, they don't keep fighting like the Heat teams used to do in the past. They kind of just give up on the situation. And being the second night of a back-to-back, I think it would probably be warranted if they get down by a big number. That fourth quarter, I can see them not putting a push. So maybe something you want to do live. Or maybe you could play like the over to start the game, and if the number jumps up, you can go live bet and try to catch yourself a middle. We've spoke about middles on this show quite a bit. That's not a bad look either. But my first instinct would be under in this game because I do think that this has blowout potential. Shark, your thoughts?
Yeah, also this line is not anywhere near 220.5. I'm not sure if he's buying a bunch of points. The line is 225.5. Huge gap there. So I think it's an under at 225.5. I have the game to finish at 222 points, and I agree with Jay. I think this game is going to end up being somewhere around like 117 to 101 or something like that.
KN, that's fucking hysterical. Bronny James over under 3.5 high fives.
Over, baby.
That's about his only stat you can go over on.
Yeah.
Davion Mitchell over 10.5 for plus 205. I'm not mad at that, especially when you have Duncan Robinson questionable. You have Hightower also questionable. I know out tonight, Jovic is still out, although he was questionable starting the night, which means he's on his way back. I'd like to see him back in the rotation. Kevin Love, not a big deal. Doesn't get much usage these days anyway. Rozier and Wiggins also out. I actually said on the show yesterday, I don't like the offensive flow as much without Wiggins in the lineup. But now you're talking about maybe missing Duncan as well. So, yeah, I can see Davion stepping up. Luke, this is more your market. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually do. If you're going to So I have his line. I mean, it's pretty sharp. Like the projections are.
And he's
showing,
efficient as fuck. He really is. He's about as efficient as they come. Like that's the one thing I can say about Davion Mitchell. When he gets minutes and he gets usage, you know, he doesn't take he doesn't take you know, just start chucking shit up. So I mean that's the one thing about Davion Mitchell.
He takes smart shots, and what I've rode Davion this year is his assist lines. So I've gone over on his assists many times. This line though, I don't know where you're getting plus 205. Truthfully, if that's your line, I bet a lot on this because currently I'm getting it at plus 100. So like if you can really get 10.5 for plus 205, that is a smash spot.
But what are you seeing the points at, Luke? What are you seeing?
10.5.
It is 10.5 at plus 100.
Yeah, so I don't. This might be a wrong mistype, but either way, I actually do lean over for all the reasons we listed. Yeah, if you really got plus 200, then I'd double down.
NYC Born, I kind of lean under on that game. I think Shark does as well. Just more of a lean towards the under. I don't like the total itself, but I am on the Lakers in that spot.
Yeah, the total for me is a toss. I have some numbers. Let me just give you the numbers real quick. Actually, no, I don't have numbers on that. I looked at it and I noticed that the books really have no idea. Part of the reason why the books have no idea in terms of grading this over is because of the Jimmy Butler trade and the Luka trade. This is a totally new roster group on both sides. So it's hard to look back on data here and find some sort of prognostication. It's going to be kind of a toss, honestly.
Chris, now I've always been good in NFL. I've always dominated the NFL. But believe it or not, last year, NBA literally every fucking week just making money. And you can even ask Shark. Shark thought I was obnoxious with the amount of tickets I was sending in our little group chat. Every night, just 20 dimes, 20 dimes, 20 dimes, hit, cash, which this season in the NBA has been a complete opposite. So I haven't even played as many 20 dimes. I'm really trying to pick my spots with them. It's just been a completely fucked up NBA season for me. As I stated in one of my chats yesterday, probably the worst I've ever had in the NBA, and definitely my first losing season in the NBA in the last 10 years. So usually I'm like the fucking NBA king, right? But I guess everybody's going to have that one season, and this season would be it for me. You know, I didn't make adjustments quick enough. You know, the things that you look to make adjustments on just weren't happening fast enough. And there was no consistency or spots that, you know, in situations that I can truly get to. Yes, I did go 17-4 at one point this season. But like for me, you know what? That was pretty much consistently every year. Last year, we were just fucking rolling every week in the NBA last year. So I truly do, you know, I usually make fucking tons of money in the NBA, but this year just wasn't that year for me. Although, I mean, listen, you're always going to have that one season. It just sucks that it came on the heels of such a ridiculous NFL year, because the 63% in the NFL wasn't even the best of it for me. It was more so those big hits that we were cashing every single week on like our 20 dimers. Like those were even that record was even better than the 63 or 62 overall percent in the NFL. You know, and usually NBA is right up there on a consistent basis. It just hasn't been there for me. MLB has been rolling along. And MLB, the system that I use, is just always going to do what the system does. Next questions. Alexander Walker over on points tonight, Luke?
You guys come with good questions. I would lean over on this one, actually. As I mentioned when we went over this game, I don't love this game for overs in general. Like, I really don't. I'd actually side with unders on almost every point line for most players. He's the one where his line is like, if he hits 2 threes, I mean, he's pretty much there. So I would lean over because it's 7.5, but
but he doesn't hit 2 threes, does he? Like
he kind of is a mid-range attack the rim guy. But
that's what I'm saying, and he's more of a defensive guy, right? Like
he hit a bunch of threes. One of the games recently, he hit at least 4 or 5. He was like heat checking recently. I remember.
I was just going to see which game that was because I recall that as well. He was, it was last game. So, like, that's kind of why I brought up. He was 5 of 11 for 3. Like, he shot 16 times, 11 threes, put up 26 points against the Nuggets. But you guys have to have a lens. The Nuggets defense is ass. Like, they're terrible. The Nets
And you had
defense-
about 80 minutes of basketball to do it.
Yeah, you had like 9 overtimes. So
yeah,
I think the lens is he's playing Brooklyn. I think that Randall Edwards are really going to take the majority of the shots. So it's a stay away for me. But like, if you had to, he played 45 minutes, like, and he showed he can score. Like, I'd lean over if you really had to, but it's a stay away.
let's get one more in here.
Oh, people
No,
are
that
bringing
doesn't
back
make
the
you a
Blazers
professional
game.
gambler.
You just love the
Memphis,
Blazers
Portland,
game.
money line parlay. Personally, I don't. I think Toronto's, probably the spot in that game. Even though I made jokes about the game, I didn't really handicap it. Just Toronto has been making money pretty much all year long. So I don't know that I'd want to fade them, and I definitely don't know that I'd want to be laying points on the road with Portland. The Memphis spot I can absolutely get to, and you guys may hate me in the future for letting you know this, but if you take a 10-point spread, right, and you play the first half money line, you're pretty much getting the same value as you would get on a money line full game at 6 or 7 points. You understand? So you're getting you're probably getting a half a point. You're probably getting I say, and this is just off the top of my head, so let me think. What spreads around 11 tonight? The Milwaukee Bucks, right? You're probably getting a good first half Milwaukee Buck team in the first half money line, probably about 350 tonight. I mean, I'm just guessing. That's probably around 350. You can combo that with Memphis, so it'd be the Milwaukee Bucks money line first half, and then the Memphis full game money line. That parlay would probably be a better look than the Portland. I just don't like throwing bad teams into those spots.
I would co-sign that for what it's worth. I mean, Bucks Giannis first half, again, trying to just blow up his team and rest Giannis. I like that a lot, actually.
And that is typically what they do. They look to get it over early and often. All right, guys. We're going to wrap this up here for today. We will be back here tomorrow to break down the entire card. Luke, any final thoughts?
Just that I appreciate you guys. This is fun. It's NBA. It's MLB season. We're rolling. Please hit like. As I mentioned yesterday, everyone's on. You forget to hit the like button, but it helps us. It matters. Hit the like button. Tell a friend to watch the show. We do it every weekday, just not Saturdays and Sundays. We are back here tomorrow for Friday Energy. And I got one more in me. Book it!
All right, Shark, any final thoughts?
Yeah, another fast hour. I was saying to Luke the other day, I watched the show back. I think Jay watched it back. We like to see what we can do better, what we can improve. It goes by quickly. That's a sign of a great energy show and conversation. And we're all about meritocracy, the three of us. If we thought it was trash, we would fix it and tell you. We love to do it. We love to bring you guys the energy. We think we're bringing you a great conversation daily, and we appreciate you guys in the chat with emphasis. A lot of plays today. Thursday's theme is money. Let's dominate.
You know what? Yeah, I almost forgot. Ride or die. Do a ride or die. You got to do a ride or die. Get a ride or die.
Ride or die, remember?
All right, so the ride or die tonight, we're going to make two of them. We'll make a $500 ride or die on the Memphis Grizzlies. And then, Luke, give us a ride or die.
I love it. Let's just do my best bet. So Moses Moody under 15.5 PRA.
All right, so Luke's ride or die is going to be for $250. That'll be Moody. And then the combination of me and Shark will be a $500 ride or die. So you have two ride or dies. Give us a book it. That's right. Give us a book it in the comments, and we'll pick a winner on the live show tomorrow. Guys, that's going to be it. He's Graham Sheasby. He's Luke Shuey. I, of course, am J.A. Cavalier. That is it for player performance here on an NBA Thursday. We will see you guys back here, break down the entire card tomorrow. But until then, remember, yesterday's a memory, tomorrow's not guaranteed. And in the late words of Frank Sinatra, live every day like it's your last. One day it will be.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort.